Hello, figments of my imagination. Now, when I brew, sometimes I go a little too deep, but hey, you gotta turn over every stone if you want to find greatness. Or in this case, the perfect Nadu deck. So with that being said, I'm not even going to introduce these next two decks. Enjoy! Alright, here we have a slightly more unhinged version, that is Slivers. 4 Shuko and 3 Lightning Greaves, because I just didn't even run Stoneforge in this deck. Lightning Greaves is obviously pretty good in a Sliver deck. It lets you play any new Sliver and immediately tap them for mana because you're going to have one of the gem hides out. So, I think it's not that bad. It could even be 3 and 4, honestly. Probably just should be. 4 Gale Rider Sliver, costs 1 mana, gives flying, good things. 1 Universal Automaton, it's just a 1 mana Sliver in this case. It lets us search up with Urza Saga. 4 Virulent Sliver, this is going to be how we're going to win the game a lot of the times, and it conveniently costs 1. 3 Cloud Shredder Sliver, haste is just really important, especially when going off. 2 Diffusion Sliver to protect our Slivers. 4 Gem Hide and 4 Mana Weft. You pretty much always need to have one of these out, otherwise you're just not going to win. It helps generate as much mana as you need. 1 Firewake, we wanted an extra haste Sliver, but we also wanted to be able to search it up with Summoner's Pact, and this is the cheapest one. And 4 Nadu. 3 Summoner's Pact, search up the Nadu and search up the Firewake Sliver. We could also search up a Gem Hide or something if necessary, but we run the risk of just losing the game then. And 1 Dramatic Reversal. A lot of times goldfishing with this deck, you would draw through the entire deck and just have a whole bunch of tap Slivers in play. So a Dramatic Reversal just lets us win the game with the Slivers themselves, while also not being dead in a lot of other situations. It serves a similar purpose as Thesis Oracle, in that it's the win the game card, but unlike Thesis Oracle, if you just have like 3 or 4 Slivers out, it can still be helpful. Lands, 4 Breeding Pool, 4 Cavernous Souls naming Sliver, Forest Island, some fetches, 2 Mutavaults. The color requirements in this deck are pretty high, so it's possible you just don't even want these. 4 Sliver Hive to help the mana, and 2 Urza Saga. Grabs Shuko, grabs Automaton. That's that. I don't think the Slivers deck is actually good enough, but it's a cheaper version if you want to play it at FNM or something. You don't need to play like the Urza Saga or any of the expensive lands. You can run almost anything you want. The Cavernous Souls, not having those would kind of hurt, but you can just run the one where they can still be countered. Who cares, right? Okay, now we get to the really unhinged category. Let's just go right over the cards. 4 Shuko and 1 Batterskull are the equipment of choice here. 4 Memnite and 4 Ornithopter, which will make sense in a second. 4 Giver of Runes, because this will also make sense in a second. 4 Koll, the Forge Master. So this deck is kind of it's more all in on Shuko. So with this guy out, we can put Shuko on a Memnite, and then use Goblin Bombardment to sacrifice it, dealing 1 damage to our opponent, and we get the Memnite back in our hand, play it again for free, equip it again, throw it again, repeat. That's the kill here. The deck's already like incredibly janky, but I decided if we're already going to be playing a deck that plays 4 Shuko, why not give it a shot? 4 Stoneforge to search up our equipment, 4 Nadu to help dig for the combo, and 4 Goblin Bombardment, that's the kill, and 4 Summoner's Pact is just 4 extra copies of Nadu. There is literally no other green creature in this deck. For the lands, it's a little more red heavy, because we have 4 Dwarven Mines for when we go off to help generate bodies and draw more cards, keep going off. A single Triome, because the mana was really, really awkward. So even though I don't like tap lands with Nadu, it's worth running. And just fetches and shocks otherwise. This list is the most unhinged, and probably the most fun to play at an FNM or something. But there's no way it's actually good. The consistency is not there. You fold to a lot of spells in Modern. But I'll tell you what, it kills a goldfish very well. Well, we made it through. These were the last 2 Modern decks I had featuring our new Feathered Supreme Leader, glory to his name. I'll probably post the full video with every deck list in the next day or 2. And maybe I'll do more Magic things, maybe not. Spoiler season's always the most fun for me, but I have been playing for 20 years, so obviously I kind of like the game a little. Anyways, let me know what you thought of all these lists, or if you're going to try any of them out or whatever. Do YouTube things if you want, and I'll see you all eventually.